Today we're talking about something rare, which is a sacred village that said no to whiteness, and not out of hate, but out of historical memory and spiritual protection. Now, I'm talking about the village of Dahomey, deep in the jungles of Suriname, South America, where white people are not allowed, and I, for one, say, if only our ancestors had done this sooner, maybe colonization would have never happened. Now, let's start with who these people are. Now, Dahomey in Suriname is not the same as the Kingdom of Dahomey in Benin, West Africa, but the connection actually runs quite deep. The Dahomey was founded by Maroons, who are Africans who escaped from brutal plantations during slavery and ran into the forest. But they weren't just fleeing chains, they were running for their lives. They survived, they fought back, and they built a free society in the belly of the beast, which is a society where African spirituality, where values, where memories still live, a place where European presence is banned, and not out of vengeance, but for spiritual safety. And when YouTuber Ward Mayer visited the sacred place, we got a rare glimpse into what real sovereignty looks like on stolen land, but reclaimed by spirit. Let's watch.
Dahomey.
Yeah.
It's a village along the Suriname River. And when I got there, I found out they were telling me that no white people are allowed in there.
No.
Why is a white person not allowed in the village?
The man who has the, let's say, the spiritual medium, he was not anymore alive when the peace treaty was signed. So he himself didn't make peace with white folk. And everything what was his, also the spiritual things, didn't make peace with white folk. So Dahomey is a village where white folk don't allow to go, because the powerful spiritual medium lies there.
Okay.
Every white folk who goes in, he see them like
Enemy.
The spirit that they have here is a warrior spirit who fought against the European in the slavery time. And every time that the warrior spirit see white people, he get aggressive, so they want to fight. That's why they don't allow white people to come here.
What will happen if a white person comes in?
Death.
He will die.
Huh?
Now, let me be clear, watching this shook me. And it made me quite emotional, because I couldn't help but think, if only our ancestors had actually done this. If only the Zulu, the Xhosa, the Khoisan, the Pedi, the Tswana, if only we had shut the gates when these ships arrive. If only we had said no entry spiritually, physically, politically, like the Maroons of Dahomey did. Not only to the Europeans, but to the Arabs too, who colonized East Africa, who disrupted the Swahili coast, and who helped build infrastructure of the global slave trade. If only we had protected our sacred lands with the same force and clarity, I do believe that maybe we wouldn't be here today still asking for our land back, and maybe we wouldn't still be healing from 500 years of trauma, and maybe our ancestors would have been spared the lash, the cross, and the gun. The people of Dahomey and Suriname don't just exclude white people. They do it because their village is a spiritual refugee where rituals are performed, their ancestors are honored, and European energy is seen as harmful, which is a disruption to the ancestral plane. They're not anti-white, they're not pro-preservation, they understand something too many of us have forgotten, which is you cannot heal on soil poisoned by oppression. They're not hosting wellness retreats for influencers. They're not selling their culture for tourism. They're not giving access to trauma that was never theirs to begin with. And I respect that deeply. The Maroons of Suriname are not passive victims of slavery. They are revolutionaries, they are warriors, they are architects of resistance. They created governments, judicial systems, and militarized defense strategies in exile. They held on their language, the songs, their drums. They didn't just survive, but they remained African despite every system trying to break that bond. Contrast that with what happened to millions of Africans across the world. They were stripped of names, of gods, of dignity. But the Maroons prove that freedom is not given, but it is taken and kept. What does this mean for us here in Africa? That too often we give our culture away. We welcome everyone in, no matter their history, no matter their power, or no matter their disrespect. Why South Africans still own land, still dominate the economy. They still expect us to prove we're not racist while they enjoy the spoils of colonization. And yet, when we try to protect a township or a church or a spiritual tradition from outside influence, we're called backwards, we're called divisive, we're called racist. But Tahumi shows us what boundaries look like. They show us that not all access is sacred. That healing requires protection, that safety is not an absence of threat, it is the presence of memory. The people of Dahomey and Suriname are not wrong to exclude white people. They are right to honor the blood that bought them freedom. And if that makes people uncomfortable, then good. Because for 500 years, we've been made to feel grateful for oppression. I say, let us learn from them. Let us reclaim what is sacred. Let us stop apologizing for protecting Black space. Let us build our own Dahomeys in the world. Let us teach our children that some doors must stay closed until the healing is done. Now, I'm Naledi Mfoloe, and this is ADNC, where our truth is global, powerful, and unapologetically Black. So let's continue the conversation in the comment section. I really like to hear your thoughts on this, and while you're at it, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. That's it from me. Till